Joseph there, and I want to kick things off this time with Joseph because I'm a big fan of his. I keep very close tabs on like big up and coming lists and stuff like that, obviously because I'm a founder of one myself, but also because I'm really, really interested. I did notice Joseph on this list, and I thought towards the start, he was one of the more weaker artists on that list, and over the course of this year he has had the most development. Does it make you feel good? That entire EP is fantastic. The sun is up forever, I'm a big fan of as well, but what do you guys think?
You know, Joseph was one of the people that I think when I heard at first, it kind of passed me by a little bit. Obviously, the track, I think it's I Wonder Why, was, you know, that stood out to me because that is just fantastic. But some of his other tracks I thought were a bit lukewarm. But similar to you, I think the more that I've listened to him, he's grown on me a lot more. And I think he's actually deserved his place in the top 10 just because he provides something a little bit different to some of the other artists that we've got. Joseph has a lot to offer, and you can see that he has developed a lot over the last year.
Joseph's strongest point, probably his voice. He has a very soulful, rich kind of voice. It's not even about the fact that it's grave or not grave. It's more about the way he sings. He really portrays the emotions. It's just so lovely, and it just takes you immediately. I really, really like Joseph.
So it has now been 12 months today since we ended Prospects 2020, where artists such as Celeste, I Don't Know How, But They Found Me, and Arlo Parks participated. But how have they got on 1 year later? Here to talk us through everything is the wonderful Hannah Clarke.
Nova Twins have had an outstanding year and have gone from strength to strength. They released their massively anticipated debut album, Who Are the Girls, in February with massive success in the alternative scene. Kerrang! Magazine rated it 4 out of 5 stars, describing it as having furious themes and explosive energy. Their lead single, Playfair, has over 220,000 streams on Spotify, with the music video having over 100,000 views on YouTube. Not to mention they had a very successful collaboration on Bring Me the Horizon's brand new album with the song 1x1, which was incredibly successful. They're getting ready to head out on their UK tour in 2021, as well as featuring in festivals such as 2000 Trees and Leeds Festival. New Zealand-based artist Benny has made a huge impact in 2020. Her single Super Lonely generated a colossal 250 million combined streams, going on to perform on The Jimmy Fallon Show and The Ellen DeGeneres Show in the United States. She was also announced as Apple Music's Up Next artist for the month of July, previously won by artists such as Juice WRLD, Billie Eilish and Megan Thee Stallion. She's collaborated with some pretty big name artists including Lily Allen and Joji, and her debut album Hey You Kiss was received with great success. 2020 has been such a crazy year for Bieber Doobie. Earlier on in the year she performed at the NME Awards after winning the Radar Award. Around the same time she also went on tour with the 1975 as their main support act. In the summer she released her debut album Fake It Flowers, which was dubbed one of the best albums of the year, debuting on the UK album charts at number 8. After several successful singles, she's really grown a presence this year and will no doubt continue that success in the future. Another Sky are definitely ones to watch after having a really successful year in 2020. They released their incredible debut album I Slept on the Floor to huge critical acclaim, receiving 4 out of 5 stars from NME and being described as having shimmering soundscapes and having the power to change lives and opinions. They also won the 2020 Bodega Album of the Year and have a UK tour planned for 2021. An absolutely sensational band, the only way for them is up. Up-and-coming indie pop band Koala have had some incredibly successful singles this year, including Ticket to Ride and Animals. After their breakthrough success a couple of years ago, they've really solidified their fun, melodic style, which is reflected so well in their latest tracks. One of which is called Pure Desire, which is arguably one of their greatest works to date. They're one of those bands that are just constantly improving and working on their sound, and it's no doubt that they're going to make waves in the future. American duo IDK How have had a great year, releasing their debut album Razzmatazz in late 2020. In August, the band released a lyric video for the album's lead single Leave Me Alone, alongside announcing the album's title and release date. The album received incredible incredibly positive reviews from alternative outlets, including Kerrang! Magazine, which rated it 4 out of 5 stars. It also debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Heat Seekers chart. They're an absolutely amazing band with a lot of experience in the industry and have the potential to release some incredibly amazing music this year. R&B artist Celeste has had an outstanding year. She topped the BBC Sound Of poll in 2020 and won the Brit Award for Rising Star, and they weren't wrong. At the beginning of 2020, she released her single Stop This Flame, with other singles Little Runaway and I Can See the Change released throughout the year. Not to mention that she was the first artist to record an original song for the John Lewis Christmas advert. That's how you know you've made it. Her very much anticipated debut album, Not Your Muse, is set for release at the beginning of 2021, and it's clear that this is just the beginning for Celeste. Norwegian singer-songwriter Girl in Red seems to have popped up out of nowhere over the last year or so and has gone from strength to strength. She became a pretty big name in the LGBTQ+ community, with her music going viral on TikTok. Her single Rue was massively successful alongside her other single Two Queens in a King-Size Bed. Her sound is described as romantic bedroom pop anthems, and it's easy to see why she's so popular amongst the younger generation of music lovers. And to finish the year off, she was nominated for the BBC Sound of 2021, demonstrating her massive impact on the indie pop scene this year. Since winning the Prospect Music Award last year, Arlo Parks has had an absolutely stellar year. To start off 2020, she performed her first ever sold-out European tour, which had amazing reviews. She's had some absolutely standout singles of the year, including Eugene and Black Dog, the latter of which became BBC Radio 1's Tune of the Week. She's set to release her hotly anticipated debut album Collapsed in Sunbeams later this month, and it's so clear that she's going to be a name that's going to be sticking around for a very, very long time. You're definitely going to be hearing more from her in the near future.
Thank you, Hannah, for putting that report together and for all of the work that you've done across Prospect 2021. Now we have 4 more finalists left to talk about, and we're going to carry on with a 17-year-old multi-instrumentalist who creates polished and sugar-coated indie pop. It's Alfie Templeman.
Bedfordshire singer-songwriter Alfie Templeman is an artist that anyone will fall in love with. At just 17 years old, he's really someone to watch out for as he grows in popularity within the indie pop scene. He released his hotly anticipated EP, Happiness in Liquid Form, in July 2020, receiving a 4 out of 5 star review from NME, praising him for confidently taking risks, which have really paid off. In 2019, he toured with fellow indie artist Sports Team, which continued his rise in popularity amongst indie fans, which hasn't stopped since. He's already confirmed a UK tour for 2021, which we have no doubts will be incredibly successful.
Alfie has always been one of our favorites since the start, since we started talking about it. Alfie was always up there. He makes this kind of like easy music. It's very lovely to listen to. I just believe he is very well-rounded.
Easily been one of the first acts we heard, and we all kind of agreed together that he should really be up there. The fact that he's kind of a bedroom pop sensation says it all. I think he's about 17, which is just insane. And he writes and records and produces all of his own stuff. He's definitely one to watch.
I think he's fantastic. I've seen him a couple of times and he's so young. And when I saw him, he was only 16 years old. He's going to be a big star no matter what happens tonight. I do think that some of his songs are better than others, but at the same time, I think he's great. If Alfie was to win tonight, he would be the youngest ever artist to win for Prospect Music Award. No matter what happens today, Alfie Templeman will be incredibly successful in 2021. It says that on my script, I've just already said it, but we're going to go with it anyway. And the same can be said for our next finalist, providing us with neo soul with a jazz twist and already nominated for the BBC's Sound of 2021 poll. This is the remarkable Green Tea Peng.
Neo-soul and self-described psychedelic R&B artist Green Tea Peng has one of the most unique, effortless sounds in the Prospect lineup this year. Comparable to Lily Allen and Amy Winehouse, she's destined for success, with her melodic yet powerful vocals and instantly recognisable aesthetic. She's released 4 singles in 2020, including Human and Revolution, both of which were massively successful. She's already been featured on BBC Radio 1 and is set to tour the UK in April 2021. She did an amazing live performance of her song Downers for the YouTube channel Colours, which have showcased artists such as Alicia Keys, Arlo Parks and Christine and the Queens. The video currently stands at over 8.5 million total views. She's got such a large, ever-growing, yet dedicated fan base, and it's only a matter of time before she takes it up another level and we start seeing and hearing a lot more from her.
What are we going to say about Green Tea Peng?
Green Tea Peng is just really sexy, the way, especially the track Human. And there's no other way of describing it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but with a track like Human, she adds like a lot of spice that some of the artists just didn't have, and I think that's what made her stand out. And again, she's on the ones to watch for 2021 on the BBC's list. She's got loads of talent.
I think she's great. As in, towards the start of the list, I was thinking, oh, she's all right. She's good. I couldn't really see her getting into the top 25. I'm very happy that she's in the top 10. I think that she should have been in the top 10 from the very start, to be honest with you. I remember Maddie said as well, she sold out the bodega. Everyone is asking her for tickets. Obviously, with that as well, like it was very similar with like Arlo Parks as well, who went on to win the show last year. I think she's a dark horse, and I think she could take it.
I agree with you, meaning that she's so unique as an artist, but at the same time, there's something that she needs to fix first. There's something that she needs to develop. What you said before was very, very true. She was one of the artists that I kind of like brushed over at first. The fact that she wasn't so strong from the beginning makes you understand that there's a little bit more of experience she needs to gain for her to get to Amy Winehouse's level, Erykah Badu level, because the talent is there. It's just, again, experience.
So far, we've revealed 25th place and last place, all the way up to 16th place. We have got 5 more artists left to find out. I can now reveal that the artist in 15th place in this year's Prospect Music Award is... This is a shocker for me. It's R.A.E. R.A.E. is one of the artists for me where she's very distinguished and she's really, really good and really strong, but she has got some weaker tracks. I'm very shocked and very surprised that she's come this far, but I don't hate the idea either. I think she is really, really great. She won the Glastonbury Emerging Talent competition, and that's saying something. So she'll be playing on the Pyramid stage this year, which, well, hopefully, if it goes ahead.
Personally, I'm surprised that she's coming as high as she has done. There wasn't much that kind of stood out to me so much with RAE. Having said that, though, I can understand why she's, had the accolades that she has, because she does have a good presence. I was feeling like she does have a lot more to offer, and I think I speak for a lot of us when I say that it's fair to say that she's a good emerging artist, but for this year I don't think she does deserve to be in our top 10, so I'm happy that she's outside that, but I do think she has a lot to offer. Like
you guys said, I didn't think she was going to be so high up in the chart. I thought she was going to be one of the last. I'm not gonna lie, she really didn't do it for me.
That's fair enough. Let's find out who's in 14th place, and I can reveal that artist is... You guys are going to be... Well, I don't think you guys are going to be happy because she's come so high, but it's Emily Burns in 40. Again, I'm going to kickstart this because I'm going to add fuel to the fire. I know we've had to keep this very quiet, but I have been very pro Emily Burns all the way through this process. I think she's an incredible artist. I'm very happy that she's gotten this far. Go on, do it.
I just have to disagree. I'm sorry, but I just don't think Emily Burns should be this high up the list. She doesn't stand out. So when I think about some of the artists we've already spoken about and the kind of music that they offer, and then when I think about Emily Burns, I don't feel like she has any depth at all.
That's fair enough. But Fran, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with James. It just annoys me the fact that, not annoys me, of course, but yeah. I don't believe she's supposed to be up there. I believe she is in between 25 and 21. There's been so many artists before that we've talked about before her that have just that one thing that brings them over the top, that unfortunately couldn't bring them to the top 10. Yes, 100%. They still have to work on themselves, but they are better than Emily Burns. I've heard it already. I've seen it before.
Emily, if you're watching, which I don't think you are, Ignore these guys. I'm on your side. But in 13th position, some people say it's lucky, some people say it's unlucky. We're about to find out. The artist in 13th place is Dad Sports.
Another artist that I have to think. Dad Sports, I can understand why people like Dad Sports, but for me, it's just too sugar-coated. I just find it's just really cheesy.
It's
I don't know.
a good background listen.
Yeah.
That's just a good background listen. It's a good dreaming pop, good in the background. No, I don't think they should be this high up.
I don't mean to do whatever, but I'm disagreeing with all of you again. Like, I don't agree that I don't think they should be in the top 10, but I think 13th place is the perfect position for these guys. I'm a massive American like lo-fi indie fan, like garden indie and everything like that. We have two artists left that just failed to make it. Dua Salah or Orla Gartland. I can reveal that the artist in 12th place is Orla Gartland. I know what you guys are gonna say. I love Orla. In my personal opinion, Orla should be in the top 10. I know we had like a very deep discussion. I think I managed to convince a few of you. I think she's fantastic. She's got a great fan base. Bedroom pop is obviously a big thing at the moment. A lot of people who like Orla Gartland are big fans of Dodie, who actually came third place 3 years ago now. And so there's a market for this. She's got that fan base. She's going to be fantastic. She's going to be big.
I'm one of the people that when we last had a big kind of judges discussion was really not into Orla Gartland, but when you did talk about her more, I did come around to your side of thinking. I feel like Orla Gartland should be within the top kind of 20 to 10, maybe not this close to the top 10, but I do think she does stand out a little bit more than some of the other artists I've sort of grumbled about. Do see that she is quite marketable. She is a bit lukewarm, and I don't get a lot of passion when I hear her, like it's just kind of easy marketable kind of soft pop music. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't really feel like it should be as high up on our list.
She's well-rounded when it comes to technique, when it comes to music. Yes, she is. It's just, she is a little bit lukewarm. Still good, still a good listen. Not as good as some other artists that we've heard.
Absolutely agree with you. So that means that in 11th place is Dua Salah. Producer, can you just send through who 11th place is, please, just to triple check everything? Yeah, just been confirmed. Dua Salah, 11th place. Who wants to go first on this one? Because there's a lot to unpack.
Me.
James, go.
I'm so glad that Dua Salah has ended up being in 11th place. I've always really liked this artist. I feel like since the beginning, I was always hyping for them. I remember when we last had a judges conversation, I was suggesting that this artist could maybe be, for me, was in my top 10. I really like the textures that Dua uses. And, you know, I've said it multiple times, they kind of remind me of like FKA Twigs. What they're trying to do is really different and completely unique to 90% of the other artists.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with James. I believe that their sound was the thing that kind of put me off a little bit more, but they're just an artist that brings a lot of activism in what they do. They bring a lot of important matters in what they do, and they're bold. They are bold in the writing and the creation of of their music. Even, for example, Rosetta, the EP, mind blowing. I mean, the kind of themes that they touch are fantastic. That is why I believe they are perfectly placed at the 11th place.
I absolutely agree with both of you. I think this is the perfect place for them at the moment. Again, the Rosetta EP that they made was incredible. They're just fantastic. What can I say? The soundscapes are some of the best that I've heard. I can't wait to hear them. There they are. They are all of the artists that didn't make the top 10, and they are in 25th place for Snuts, 24th place, Rachel Chinariri, 23rd place, Nasty Cherry, 22nd place, Chipakwa Wrestling, 21st place, Martha Hill, 20th place, Channel Trez, 19th place, Nana Rogues, 18th place, Lola Young, 17th place, Jay Gray, 16th, Tisha, 15th, RAE, 14th, Emily Burns, 13th, Dad Sports, 12th, Orla Gartland, and in 11th place, Dua Salah. And we'll be revealing our winner a little bit later in the show. 2 artists to speak about now. Our penultimate finalist is the biggest out of everyone on this list. Everybody's talking about her. And so we already know that 2021 has got a name written all over it. With her super sensationalist feminist rap, this is Ashniko.
It's safe to say that Ashniko has had an absolutely monumental year, going from being virtually unknown and having a very niche cult following to being a global superstar with millions of streams and a massive worldwide fan base. Like a lot of artists these days, her quick rise to fame came after her songs went viral on TikTok, being used over 1 billion times. She's had some pretty impressive collaborations with artists such as Grimes, Brooke Candy and Young Baby Tate. And in 2020, she was scheduled to support Doja Cat on her Hot Pink tour, showing that she's not just a one-hit wonder, but is definitely up there with some of the biggest names in music right now. Her unique sound and aesthetic makes her incredibly memorable, and whether you love her or hate her, you're going to remember her. Her debut mixtape, Demi Devil, is set for release in February, and we just know that it's going to do incredibly, incredibly well. Find out later in the show if Ashniko can go all the way and be the first rap artist to win the Prospect Music Award.
So that was Ashniko, and before we delve into that, Maddie's here, she's joined us. Hi Maddie.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Here I am.
It's okay, we're all cool. First of all, thank you so much for coming down and doing this with us. Obviously, we've established you're a very, very busy person. So I just wanted to ask really quickly, how have you found Prospect?
Really interesting, like really good, because I listen to so much new music because of my job anyway, but there's still so many artists I've heard of but maybe not even given the time to actually listen to, because they're not necessarily my type of music that I would normally enjoy. But after kind of having to listen to them because of this, I now listen to them every day.
So we've been going through all of the artists. We're now on Ashniko, so you might as well get the ball rolling. Why do you think Ashniko has made it this far?
I just think she's bonkers in such a great way. It's really cool that she's doing something different and really going for it. She really doesn't hold back, which I like. You can really get into it.
I agree with everything you've said, Maddie. I think she's unique and she's absolutely massive at the moment. Like, people are talking about her so often, like all the time, and obviously TikTok's had this big like resurgence in the last year or so, and a lot of artists are starting to get more well known because of that, and Ashniko is absolutely there with that. She's just got it, and Daisy is probably one of my favorite songs of last year as well. Fran, what do you think?
I mean, to me, Ashniko is more like, whether you like her or not, you know that objectively she needs to be up there. She's rather versatile as well in her genres. You know, she can go from bubblegum to punk to just shouting at the microphone sometimes. She really reminds me of like Miley Cyrus, the era where she was like, you know what, I don't care about it. I don't know if she's my winner. She would deserve it. She would absolutely deserve it.
Bonkers is quite a good word to describe Ashniko. I wouldn't normally listen to this kind of music personally, because it's so out there. It catches your ear. After you've heard a track, you instantly know that you're listening to Ashniko. And I think that's something that really does stand her apart from almost all of the other people on the list that we've had this year. This is so far away from what I'd normally listen to. Yet, talking together on Zoom in like judges panels, I'm consistently saying she should be up there as a potential winner.
Ashniko, for the first time, is the only artist that everyone agreed on. We've never really had that before, so definitely making a big impact, absolutely. If Ashniko was to win, she would be the very first international artist to win, and also the first rapper as well. We've got one more artist to go over. They're the multi-tentacled art rock polymaths who are redefining what it means to be alternative. This is Squid.
Brighton-based post-punk band Squid have really made waves this year in the alternative scene. Their grunge rock tracks bring something different to Prospect this year, and they're most definitely destined for big things in the future if they keep going the way that they are. After the success of their debut EP, Town Centre, in 2019, they raised eyebrows as one to watch, and were subsequently nominated for the BBC Sound of in 2020, showing that they're really gaining attention at the moment and that they're definitely one to watch out for. They released 2 singles, Sludge and Broadcaster, in June, which was received by fans and critics very well. Also in June, they announced that they were going to be heading out on the road for their 2021 UK tour, including playing the main hall at Rock City in Nottingham.
Pretty amazing band, right? James, you can kick us off.
Yeah, straight away, like Squid were one of the first, again, when I first got that long list of 50 acts that, you know, as a judge I had to go through, Squid were one of the acts that I'd actually heard, you know, a lot about prior to the Prospect Music Award. So I was a little bit excited to get into them and their discography and what they had to offer. And yeah, they've not disappointed. They've stood out straight away as somebody that should be in the top 10. I love the energy. I love the freakiness of it. I love Houseplants. Obviously, that's their biggest track, but straight away you hear the instrumentation and you just want to pull some weird, geeky dance moves. Perhaps maybe they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I do think there's a lot more to come from them.
Absolutely. Now, Maddie, I know you're like a massive Squid fan.
Because I've seen them at End of the Road as well, and they're just so good live. They've just got a lot of energy. They've got a lot of extra percussion and brass, and there's so much going on, but it's all makes sense and it all complements each other, even though the songs are quite like erratic, also just super catchy at the same time.
I fell in love with them. Like, I think Houseplants is obviously a great song. Like, the tracks they've released this year, Sludge, is just fantastic. This is like the future, not just of indie music, not just the future of rock music, but the future of music in general. I think they're redefining everything. They're just fantastic. That's it. We've spoken about all 10 finalists, and in a few short moments we'll be finding out who has been crowned our 2021 Prospect Music Award champion. 2020, as we all know, hasn't been what we imagined. We've been locked inside our homes, been forced to social distance from our loved ones, and for some of us, Christmas has been cancelled completely. But one thing has kept us going. According to a BBC News article written in November 2020, it was reported that musicians have lost 2/3 of their income in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But despite this, music has been the strongest it has ever been. People have stayed together through the powers of music. One of the many reasons we're all here today is because of music. And many of our Prospect alumni are responsible for this. Here's remarkable Hannah Clarke showing us Prospect's best of 2020.
2020 has been such a great year for Shawn Mendes, releasing some incredible music and collaborating with some big name artists including Camila Cabello and Justin Bieber. He also managed to scoop up a variety of awards, including the Kids' Choice Award for Favourite Male Artist and Favourite Collaboration, as well as the Billboard Music Award and the iHeartRadio Award for Favourite Collaboration. Towards the end of 2020, he released his album Wonder, featuring the tracks Monster and of course Wonder, which was received by critics and fans very well. In tandem with the album, Netflix released a documentary centering around Shawn's life and his dramatic rise to fame at such a young age, titled In Wonder. With hit after hit and award after award, it's so easy to see how Shawn is one of Prospect's best exports. Indie superstar Declan McKenna has had a crazy good year. His sophomore album Zeros debuted at number 2 on the UK album charts after a very tense battle with the Rolling Stones. It was reported by the official charts that at one point there were just 50 physical sales between the two artists. The album featured some incredibly successful singles, including Beautiful Faces, Be an Astronaut, and The Key to Life on Earth, all of which were incredibly popular in the indie alternative scene, and he made it onto a lot of people's end of year favourites lists. His songs are just so catchy and so well written, it's only a matter of time before we start seeing him in the mainstream charts. Billie Eilish has had such an outstanding year and is arguably one of Prospect's most successful artists ever, despite only coming second place on her year in Prospect. It was announced in early 2020 that she would be writing and recording the theme song for the next James Bond movie, No Time to Die, which was received with massive praise. She performed the song at the Brit Awards alongside her brother and producer Phineas, legendary composer Hans Zimmer, and a whole ass orchestra. She also went on to win the Brit Award for the Best International Artist, as well as scooping up 5 Grammys for Best New Artist, Best Album and Best Song. With another 4 Grammy nominations for 2021 under her belt, there is no stopping Billie Eilish. She is an absolute force to be reckoned with, so unique and so powerful. She will go down in history as one of this generation's greatest artists. Nothing But Thieves have had a very busy year, releasing several singles and an album. They released the single Is Everybody Going Crazy in March, which became the lead single off their third studio album, Moral Panic. The album itself ended up charting at number 3 on the UK album charts, which is absolutely amazing and completely deserved. On the same day that they announced their album, they released another single, Real Love Song, which they later released an absolutely gorgeous stripped back version of a month later. Nothing But Thieves are super talented and destined for great things this year. Halsey is another one of Prospect's past nominees that just keeps getting better and better. She released her third studio album, Manic, in early 2020, which became the first album of 2020 to become certified platinum. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was described by critics as a chaotic amalgamation of self-analysis, rage, depression, ecstasy, and growth. She was also part of some amazing, incredibly successful collaborations, including Machine Gun Kelly and K-pop superstars BTS. Over the last year, Halsey really has solidified her status as a staple artist in the pop industry, and I can definitely see her taking on even more ambitious projects in the future. In 2020, Dreamwife released their sophomore album, So When You Gonna, to very positive reviews and was praised for being heartfelt and unapologetic. To create the album, they hired an all-female production team, demonstrating their passion and support for women in the music industry. Their single Sports off the album did really well and premiered on BBC Radio 1 as Annie Mac's hottest record in the world. After the album charted at number 18 on the UK album charts, the lead singer of the band became only the third Icelandic woman to receive a top 20 album in the UK. The album was also featured in Rough Trade's top 10 albums of the year. This band have such amazing potential, they have such an incredible attitude, so badass, and will for sure go on to create some inspirational, powerful anthems in the future. There's no doubt that the Vamps have had an incredibly successful year with the release of their 5th studio album, Cherry Blossom, which debuted at number 1 on the UK album charts after a rather heated battle with fellow Prospect nominee Bieber Doobie. The release of this album means that the Vamps have more studio albums out than any other Prospect alumni, which clearly demonstrates their hard work and dedication to their craft. One of their latest singles, Married in Vegas, did exceptionally well, and they did a gorgeous live performance of the song on Strictly Come Dancing. The Vamps have been around since 2012, and it seems that they have absolutely nailed how to create a banger. They're gonna have an incredibly long and successful career indeed. And finally, another incredibly successful past Prospect nominee, Dua Lipa. She released her sophomore album, Future Nostalgia, in March 2020 to critical acclaim. She began the year with 2 incredibly successful singles, Break My Heart and Physical, both of which reached the top 10 UK singles chart. Future Nostalgia was highly praised by critics for its incredible production and ended up being nominated for Album of the Year at the upcoming Grammys. She's the 4th most listened to artist on Spotify, and her instantly recognisable vocals and sleek pop rhythms have inspired a rebirth of the classic 80s sound. Again, it's so easy to see how she's one of Prospect's most successful artists, and she's definitely got way more success to come.
Thank you so much to Hannah for that incredible VT. Here she is. Hannah, hi, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you. Hope you're all well as well.
Thank you very much. Obviously, you've been our online presenter this year. It's the first time we've ever had one. It's the first time that you've also been involved in Prospect as well. How have you found it?
Oh, it's been really great. I've really loved it. You know, there was artists in the lineup that I'd already heard of. There was artists that I had never heard of before in my life. And I've actually started listening to them and watching YouTube videos and music videos and everything all about them. So yeah, it's been really good, really fun. And it's been nice to chat to everyone and get back into making videos and stuff. So yeah, it's been really great.
We've always been a music competition. We've always kind of put like music first. And obviously this is the first time where we've really taken like to social media properly. And like we've done lots of YouTube stuff, we've done lots of TikToks and stuff like that. How do you think that all of that has affected Prospect this year?
Using social media for anything can only really be an asset. I think especially engaging like young people in things, but anyone really, social media is such a great tool to reach so many different types of people. And I think that the fact that this competition represents so many different types of people. I mean, we all enjoy different types of music and we all consume music differently. Social media is a really great tool to get so many different people involved. And it's been really great to see like comments and the reaction from people and seeing how we can improve on using our social media to reach more people in the future.
We've had like such a positive response for everything you've done, really, and hopefully introduced like a lot of people to you and your style and everything like that. So for anyone who's watching who hasn't heard of you before, prior to this, like, where can we find you?
I do everything, mostly Instagram at the minute. I also do TikTok and YouTube. Everything's just Hannah Loser. So yeah, go follow me and check me out. I'm hoping to do some more YouTube videos in the new year. That's my New Year's resolution, to get back into video making, because this has really sparked my joy for making videos again. So thanks for that. And yeah, I'll see you around on the internet.
If you remember when you interviewed all of us, there was something that you asked us to do. Can you delve into that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I did individual interviews with each of the judges, which you can find on the YouTube channel. I asked everyone to write down who they thought the winner of the Prospect Music Award 2021 would be. And so everybody wrote it down. And now I believe we are going to unveil who everybody chose.
The winner of a Prospect Music Award will be revealed in just a matter of minutes. But before that, we need to find out who everyone has chosen as to who they think is going to win. Will's obviously not here, and Will has given me his. He has chosen Ashniko as his winner.
I went for the populist choice, I think. I was predicting an Alfie Templeman victory. It was hard for me to narrow this down, but I did go for Alfie in the end.
Fran, do you want to go?
I mean, I think everyone already knows mine. I think I made it pretty clear. But I'm gonna say it was hard to choose. It was hard, but I mean, I wrote it down as Coffee. I'm sorry, she's my everything. I believe she's the winner.
Mine wasn't my particularly top one myself, but I went of like consensus of people around me and what I've heard. I predicted Green Tea Peng, because all I've had since her show was announced for the bodega where I work is people asking, like, is it going to sell out? Like, do I need to get a ticket now?
Hannah, what have you gone for?
This person, basically, I know everybody's like, oh, it's so difficult to choose. For me, it wasn't difficult to choose. I knew this person straight away. I had no hesitations in writing this person's name down. I went for Ashniko, being the TikTok super stan that I am. She's already doing amazing things, and she's going to continue to do amazing things.
I have decided to go for, I'm not sure if you can see it. You can't, but Ashniko. For me, it was a tough choice. The reason why Ashniko, I think, as we've spoken about already, 2021 has got her name all over it. She's going to be fantastic, and we've never had a rapper win Prospect before. We've never had an international artist win Prospect before. I think it would be fantastic. Before we actually reveal the winner, because we are very, very close to revealing it now, look who's joined us. Will Kent has joined us. Hi, Will. How are you doing?
Very excited to hear you the winner. Very excited indeed.
How do you think Prospect's been in 2021 compared to the other years? Because you've been involved in it for 6 out of the 7 years.
It's been very different. Every year I've been a part of it, at least we've been able to meet up and chat about it and even like listen to the music together and stuff. So that's the obvious stark difference this year, which is frustrating. Like, of course it is. Like, I kind of hate that we have to do it like this, really. There's been some really cool artists. I mean, in terms of the music itself, I'd say there's no bad differences. It's been a good year. I'm excited for the winner.
I think we've kept everyone waiting long enough. So we have had the most votes we have ever received in this final. Thank you so much for all of your support. Your votes have been combined with the judges' scores to create an overall total. We are about to finally crown our champion. Before we start, I just want to say that every single artist who has been involved in this has been absolutely fantastic. The artist that has come in third place in this year's Prospect Music Award is Coffee. Massive congratulations to Coffee there. Everyone's clapping. We're gonna clap. I can now reveal that the artist who's our runner-up in Prospect 2021 is Alfie Templeman. So we have Coffee in third place and Alfie Templeman in second place. 8 artists left to receive a result. Now, over 2,000 artists, the winner of the Prospect Music Award 2021 is... Ashniko.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Wow, what can I say?
Bravo.
Our first international winner and our first rapper to win the Prospect Music Awards. What we got to say?
Well
I think-
deserved.
Yeah, definitely. The right person's won, actually.
People have obviously thought the same as us as well. So
I can reveal this now. Ashniko topped the judges' vote. I'm really, really happy with that. But also, let's just have a talk about Alfie Templeman and Coffee for a second. What were the second and third places like?
Yeah, definitely.
Why do you think both of them just missed out on the top spot?
On Coffee's side, she kind of she was very big at the start of the year, but she kind of like fizzled out. Ashniko was always there. Plus, she became the TikTok #1, singer, probably rapper. It's more a matter of we all knew that Alfie was going to be up there.
And what we found out before as well is usually the second place artist usually does better in their career. But Hannah, what do you think to the overall result as well?
I'm so happy that Ashniko won. I think her, as opposed to the other two, I think she's got that viral element, because whether or not you like her music, or not you think that she looks stupid with blue hair, like, you know who she is, you remember her name, because she's not like anyone else. Like, she looks like an anime character. I think someone like Coffee, she's probably, because she does reggae and that's not really like a massive genre like pop or indie. I think in the case of Alfie Templeman, he's just not quite got that like viral hit unlike Ashniko, but I think he will definitely get there. I did not know he was 17. I thought he was like 21. He's gonna go really far.
I remember in like the first meeting we did, we all said Ashniko and Alfie Templeman, I think, like as one of our sort of pick from the list. Really happy with Ashniko and Alfie Templeman. To be honest, like, Alfie Templeman probably would have been my winner. You know, Ashniko is the future.
She does have that kind of like star quality to her, like Hannah said, the viral aspect. I mean, 2020 has been the year for TikTok's resurgence, so it makes sense that we've got like a TikTok rapper, which she's sort of been labelled as our winner this year. You know what I mean? Rather than having someone like Alfie, who is a bit safe, great artist, but he is a bit safe to have as a winner. And Coffee, it's cool as well. We've got her in third place. I think I've said this, and maybe one or two of the other judges have said this as well about Coffee. I don't normally listen to, reggae all too much, but she is pushing the boundaries of that genre.
I agree with what everyone said, and I think that Alfie and Coffee are amazing artists, but I think Ashniko just stands out so much, and like Will said, she's progressive, and I think that's what the industry and people need at the moment.
Absolutely. My producer is currently finding out who is in 4th place all the way up to 10th place. Okay, here we go. We've just got them through. This is interesting, actually. In 10th place, Delphi Music Factory. 9th place was Green Tea Peng. 8th was Matilda Mann. 7th was Squid. 6th, which I was again very shocked at, Sinead O'Brien. 5th place was Holly Humberstone, and in 4th place it was Joseph. What do we think to that?
I feel like straight off the bat, I know she's local, but I think Holly Humberstone's got to be lower down. Maybe Squid aren't that accessible, potentially. Joseph at 4th, I can see that. I'm a bit unfortunate with Green Tea Peng.
I was going to say Green Tea Peng was robbed. She's way higher up. She's so cool. I literally never heard of her before. And then obviously I was like watching her videos and stuff, and her music was so different and amazing, and I really loved it.
I'm hurt by Adelphi Music Factory being so low.
We'll be hearing them in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Anna and James have said. I believe Holly and Green Tea should change. I'm weirded out by Joseph being there. I like him, but it's odd. It's odd to see him so high up.
Not to devalue the rest of the list, but for me, it seems obvious that it was going to be Coffee, Alfie Templeman, Ashniko in the top 3. Matilda Mann as well, I really liked, but I think it was only those 3 for me anyway.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. Ashniko is the 2021 Prospect Music Award champion. Massive congratulations to her. That is a wrap on Prospects 2021. Thanks so much to all of our 25 nominees, Hannah Clarke, Atalia Hewing, as well as our judges, Will Kent, Maddie Chamberlain, James Denham, and Francesca Viscotti. I'm EJ Scanlon, and this has been the Prospect Music Award 2021. Have a very happy new year, and we'll see you in next year for the Prospect Music Award 2022. Good night.